That is the shocker of the evening. When I heard this first, what did I say to you? That there's going to be a tsunami.
Yeah.
And I said that, I don't know what that's something when you saw, I don't know what you thought. But this is Andy Egyapa Mercer.
That's correct.
Losing his seat there. In a place where it wasn't supposed to happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he had control over these seats. And check the margin by which he loses. And this is the man who came into the race and suffered. He suffered at the hands of Egyapa Mercer and his people because he was purporting...
So you mean Mr. Armah, Blay Armah?
Yes, correct. So there were all sorts of allegations against him about who he wasn't, and he claimed he was. And here he is.
But this is fascinating.
You mean the lawyer thing?
That's correct.
Now let me bring Wing Sing and Raymond in, because this is an area they know very well. And we must all say, Bobo, as we call him, is a common friend. We all know him. We all, you know, we play with him. Way before he became a member of parliament. So this is something that we understand. But I did not expect that Egyapa Mercer will lose. And when I heard it, I said to you it's going to be a tsunami, because if Egyapa Mercer, he was safe. He's done a lot.
When you whispered it, I said it was an impossibility.
Yeah, you said it was impossible.
Well,
yes. And anybody thought, I heard it first, I said, until we...
And it sounded like he was actually more of a national campaign than a constituency campaign.
And Winston, we spoke to him.
Yeah.
That's when I got convinced that, goodness me, he's lost. And I said, it's going to be a tsunami.
Yes, I mean,
because it's not something that he should be losing.
No, well, but you see, I'll tell you this. It's a constituency, I know. And when I called him, I mean, I was actually surprised when I heard that he had lost. So I decided to find out by placing a call to him. But this is it. The NDC in that constituency. Now, the NDC run a very good campaign in the Western region. This was their campaign. So the Sekondi Takoradi Metropolis is consistently voted for the NPP. What is there to show?
Okay. Okay.
That's the campaign.
Okay. I heard
what is there to show?
When Sami Jamfi went there, he was saying the same thing.
Yes, what is there to show? So they started this conversation of, Sekondi, it's been 28 years of the NPP. What is there to show? What is there to show? Then, Blay Nyamike Armah comes into the picture, starts doing...
With poverty severity of 42.7%.
Yeah. And look, anybody who knows Sekondi will tell you. So it's a place that you don't have to do much because you have very good roads, well laid out roads in the community, but it's a place where people don't have jobs. So it's a place that you have to help the people get jobs. So,
and by the way, we say poverty heat map primarily is jobs.
So Armah comes into the picture. He starts by beginning to help, market women. He's going there. He's giving them, loans. He starts the loans. Then Andy Egyapa Mercer gets into the picture, also gives some grants. But then the campaign at the time was, why hasn't he done it all this while? Why did it have to take us to come in before he shows up, for instance? Okay, so he started with loans. Then he started with other donations to schools here and there, children who are writing their BECE. So the main campaign was the longevity of the NPP in that constituency and the no dividend to show for the long while that the NPP has been in the Sekondi constituency. Because ordinarily, you look at the constituency and say that Papa Wosu Ankma had served as member of parliament for 5 terms. By the time Papa Wosu Ankma was leaving, he actually won with just a margin of 1,000. And we said that when you stay for a long period, people actually get fed up with you. Mercer is only done 2 terms, and if you have conversations with him, this would have been his last term. He didn't plan to stay on for long.
Okay. Do you find that there may have been some impact to his benefit positively when the tag of lawyer that he was using was used against him? And there were reports being taken to the General Legal Council, the regulator of legal education in this country, that because he's no lawyer, he could not be using the title lawyer, which he claimed was something that he was affectionately referred to since he was born or he was young. Well, and do you think that may have increased his popularity because he was using that as against Andre Egyapa Mercer, who is truly certified and called to the bar of Ghana as a lawyer?
Well, I do not think that really helped, because this is it. He showed up, and his campaign slogan was lawyer goes, lawyer come.
That's right.
He didn't change it. He maintained it, lawyer go, lawyer come. Lawyer go, lawyer come. But you see, the NDC over a period had been targeting seats in the metropolis, and they found the right strategy. The right strategy was, show us what you've had over the period. They say the NPP is taking Sekondi Takrade for granted. And ordinarily, Egyapa Mercer has some of his best friends being NDC. And in fact, I go to that constituency because I come from Mpoho, not so far. And you hear people saying, oh, onye de Mercer eminyankwanche, will lose seats in the. So even within the NDC circles, it's like you don't really want Mercer to lose his seat. So for the NDC to plan this, and as you would see, it just didn't happen in the Sekondi constituency. It's happening in Skado Ketan, it's happening in Kwesimintim, it's happening in Mpoho, and it's happening in Hunter West. It's become difficult. The conversation was very simple. Sure. And when I was having conversations, I mean, over the last few weeks when I went to the Western region, and when I was having conversation with people, what they said was that they were going to punish the NPP for the neglect over the period.
And that point you made is so fascinating, considering that this is a constituency that the NDC will not dare dream to even think about winning.
61%.
I mean, and that is the point there that you made, Raymond. Just look at the trend map trend map. The trend map is so overwhelmingly in favor of the NPP. It's not even funny.
True.
Right? It is a blue stronghold. It's a blue wall. You can't break it down.
And he was not underperforming. In all fairness, when you took over...
If you look at it, he is the fourth best performing parliamentary candidate for the NPP in the constituency in terms of percentage outcome.
Since 1996.
Since 1996.
Yes.
You can actually throw in 1992.
Because, well, in 1992, when the NPP boycotted it, Sam then holds on to it, and then Papa was on command and seats him. But you see, I've told you, the NDC's strategy was show us what you've done. They've been the members of parliament.
But you know what I think?
No.
I think there's something more at play. To flip a stronghold, I think it goes beyond just looking at your current circumstances. I think there was something more national happening that NDC tapped into, obviously, that in addition to, obviously, the challenges that the people have there, as you're saying, exploiting that sweeps Egyapa Mercer away. The only time Egyapa
because this is from 62% to 43%.
Yeah. Look, it is really one of those unprecedented happenings in a sense.
It is true that there was something happening nationally. But you see, even when things have happened nationally, and let me get close to this, for instance. Let me get close to this. Look, this is 2012. Watch this here. Akufo-Addo, at the time, the NPP lost the election. Akufo-Addo pulls 54%. Papa Wosu-Ankoma gets 51%.
Akufo-Addo was more popular.
Was more popular than Papa Wosu-Ankoma. Then Egyapa Mercer comes in. Yes, Akufo-Addo is still more popular, but then he actually increases the percentage. What I'm trying to say is that while there was actually something happening nationally, because nationally there was a problem and the NPP had become unpopular, the last man you expected to be unpopular was Egyapa Mercer.
But he wasn't unpopular, was he?
That's the point. But you see,
I mean, this is a man whose fortunes was on upward trajectory.
That is the point. And so,
Raymond,
that's why I'm saying that.
He was improving his performance there. He was on an upward trajectory.
So I'll tell you.
I mean, and a point we make always, he had momentum on his side. In politics and elections, when you have momentum on your side, even if you're going to lose, it has to be
a small margin.
Small margin.
From 61 to 43 is massive.
It is unprecedented.
Let me introduce...
I mean, if you are predicted this, you must be a god.
Let me introduce another angle to this. And I've told you of the NDC's campaign. They say, lawyer go, lawyer come. So this is the point. In the past, Egyapa Mercer, let's go to 2016. Let's mention names. Because by the time when he was contested by Asifua, for instance, okay, now, Asifua was somebody who worked, you bring me the names. So this is Emmanuel Asifua, who got 11,000. Now, he was an employee of the Lands Commission.
Okay.
He was in the accounts department of the Lands Commission. This is a man who at the time was supporting Sekondi 11 Wise.
Okay.
So he was very, very popular. But the moment lawyer, Mercer, Bobo, and his father is a very popular figure, what people do not know. His father, very popular figure in Sekondi, and the likes of Speaker Sechi Hughes have actually worked in his father's chambers.
All right.
So this is a man who is very popular in Sekondi, even though his father died when he was
But I think you are making the point myself and Raymond.
No, hold on.
With all that background.
Hold on. I'm going to show. When I'm done, you would understand. Hold on. Go to 2020. Then in 2020, Charles Hagan, they call him Panya. He's a fisherman. So at the time, the conversation was, Ebe, na able to Mercer as a Panya Nedeneba.
To it?
Okay? To it. If you want to change Mercer, do you bring Panya?
The fisherman.
Do you bring the fisherman to unseat the lawyer? The NDC.
No wonder his poor showing there.
The NDC kept quiet. Then in 2024, the NDC says, lawyer go, lawyer come. Now let's have a campaign. And then they start singing the song, it's been 28 years. What is there to show? Sekondi, you lose nothing. If Mercer leaves, there's another lawyer. So if Mercer leaves, there's another lawyer. And look, the General Legal Counsel wrote to him and all of that. The campaign slogan never changed. Lawyer goes, lawyer comes. And it was the same thing. But you see, I am saying to you that the campaign the NDC ran in the Western region was that the region has been neglected. And so
that definitely was a factor.
Yes, so they should punish the people, they should punish the party and punish its MPs.
But also considering that Egyapa Mercer was first a deputy energy minister, so he had resources at his disposal. And then
elevated to substantive
minister.
Of creative arts.
There must definitely be something else happening there. And you see, in tsunami years, it doesn't follow any logic sometimes. There may be factors like what you're saying that will help your cause. But in Egyapa Mercer's case, I think something really fundamentally mysterious. And I said mysterious, we will begin to understand pretty shortly what it was. I think really, if you try to pin it down, the economic factors are at play, and it comes to what you're saying. But nationally, people's resentment of this government, and so they are punishing Egyapa Mercer for what he was part of. Maybe we should look at what Bawumia did there this year to see the story. Let's look at what Bawumia did there this year. And this is, oh goodness, which means that we'll get a presidential shortly. And I'm predicting that we probably will see a very interesting scenario there. So they are punishing Egyapa Mercer for being part of a government that was so unpopular. And that's really what happened. People forget, in 2016, Ghanaians were so fed up with the NDC, they delivered that massive victory for the NPP because they wanted so badly to get rid of it.
And it affected some members of parliament too.
You never thought
who ordinarily would have, yes.
It did. But you see, the point is that nobody is writing off the economic conditions. But it's actually the economic conditions that led the people to coin the campaign strategy. Show us what you've done.
Show proof of your...
Show proof of what you've done.
We have a lot more places to go. I know Egyapa Mercer is interesting.
Then let's do question.